Hi, everybody. And Happy New Year, my friends. Lesson 33. Olaf reads his play. Olaf, here's my story about the Wiggins family. The picnic lunch. Mr. and Mrs. Wiggins are taking their son Timothy and Grandma and Grandpa out in the car for a picnic lunch. Mrs. Wiggins, it's 12:30, James, and time we found somewhere to eat. Timothy, oh, good. I am hungry. Grandma, I could certainly do with a cup of tea. Mr. Wiggins, well, I'll keep your eyes open, and we'll see who can find the best place. Mrs. Wiggins, James, look. There's a field on the left that will do nicely. Quick, stop the car by that gate. The car stops. Timothy, oh, look, there are cows in the field. Grandma, cows. I'm not going to eat in a field with cows breathing down my neck. Grandpa, I expect there are a few bulls among them. And Nellie's got her red dress on, anything red makes em absolutely wild. Mrs. Wiggins, yes, you're right. That cow by the gate has a most unfriendly look on its face. Drive on, James. The car moves on. Timothy, but I'm hungry. Grandma, it's time I had my cup of tea. Mr. Wiggins, don't worry, there are plenty of good places along the road. Grandpa, we're passing one of them now. Mrs. Wiggins, James, stop quickly. Here's a nice stretch of grass. The car stops. Grandma, no, this is no good. There's no shade at all. I can't have the sun beating down on me. We must look for a shady place. Mrs. Wiggins, all right, drive on, James. We all want Grandma to enjoy her cup of tea. Grandpa, even if it's bedtime before she has it. The car moves on. A quarter of an hour later the car stops again. Mr. Wiggins, well, how does this suit you, Grandma? There are woods on each side. Grandpa, no fear of getting sunburnt here. Mrs. Wiggins, it's far too dark, James. Almost frightening. We might as well have lunch in our coal cellar. Drive on till we are clear of these trees. The car moves on. Grandpa, now, let's see. We're looking for somewhere with no cows, no sun, and no trees. Not too easy. Grandma, when am I going to get my cup of tea? I wish I hadn't come. Mrs. Wiggins, now, don't worry, Grandma. We're coming to the end of the wood now. James, slow down. I can see just the right spot. Over there by the river. The car stops. Grandpa, no, Nellie, not there. That ground's damp. You can tell by the greenness of the grass. Being up to the knees in water when I eat my lunch is not my idea of a good picnic. The car moves on. Timothy, but I want my dinner. I'm hungry. Grandpa, you'll have to wait, my boy. Anything damp and my rheumatism comes back. Grandma, you and your rheumatism. It's nearly 1:30. 1 o'clock's the proper time for lunch, and then a nice cup of tea after it. Mrs. Wiggins, now, just sit back and enjoy yourself, Grandma. Look at the nice scenery. Grandpa, a brick wall on one side, and a factory on the other. Timothy, I want my dinner. I'm hungry. Grandma, can't you stop the boy talking, Nellie? He's done nothing but complain ever since we started. Mrs. Wiggins, James, stop. This field here. The very place we've been looking for. Grandma, with a lovely big tree to keep the sun off. Grandpa, and it looks dry enough. Any dampness in my rheumatism will be back. Timothy, at last. At last. The car stops. Mr. Wiggins, I'll go and unstrap the picnic basket. It's in the back of the car. Grandma, now for a cup o' tea. Timothy, I say, look at all these flies coming towards us. Grandma, they're all over the car. Mrs. Wiggins, where have they come from? Grandma, I hope they don't bite. Timothy, ow. Ow. They do. Grandma, oh, dear. We'll get bitten to death. I wish we weren't going to eat our lunch here. Mr. Wiggins, returning from the back of the car, don't worry. We're not. Mrs. Wiggins, Grandma, Grandpa, Timothy, we're not going to eat our lunch here? Mr. Wiggins, no. We've forgotten to bring the picnic basket. We've forgotten to bring the picnic basket. Mr. Priestley, well done, Olaf. That was quite a good little play. I think we all want to hear more about the Wiggins family. Olaf, I have written another play about them. Mr. Priestley, good. You can read that to us in the next lesson. Hob, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we must leave your story, too, until then. I'm sure it will be interesting. Hob, it is. Mr. Priestley, but I want, now, to give you a piece of dictation on Olaf's play. Here it is. Dictation. Let's have a picnic lunch. This is easy to say and nice to think about. You imagine a beautiful green field with a big tree in the middle which gives some shade from the sun. All around is lovely scenery, and in the distance you can see the cows quietly eating the grass. After a meal of delicious sandwiches and raw fruit, you can imagine lying in the warm sun, and perhaps getting a little sunburnt. Then as darkness comes, you strap up your basket and drive happily home. But it does not always happen like this. You must not forget that flies also like raw fruit, that green fields are sometimes damp fields, that rain may follow the sun, that peaceful cows may be unfriendly bulls, and that even careful men like Mr. Wiggins don't remember everything. Comment. In Lesson 22 you had some examples of colloquial English. In Lesson 33 there are a number of examples that illustrate some of the characteristics of colloquial conversation, e.g. 1. Part of the sentence, the subject or quite often even the verb, is left out, e.g. No fear of getting sunburned here, equals there is no fear. The very place we've been looking for. This field here. Anything damp, equals if I stand or sit on anything damp, and my rheumatism comes back. Not too easy, equals that will not be too easy. Over there by the river. No, Nelly, not there, equals we do not want to stop there. A brick wall on one side, and a factory on the other. Quick, stop the car, equals be quick and. 2. Exclamatory sentences. Oh. Good. Cows. I'm not going. You and your rheumatism. At last. At last. 3. The use of do and is to take the place of a complete verb. They do, equals they do bite. We're not, equals we're not going to eat our lunch here. 4. Conversational idioms. I could do with a cup of tea, equals I want, I should like. A field that will do nicely, equals that will suit our purpose. Now let's see, equals let us consider what is required. A few bulls among M. Anything red makes M wild, equals makes them wild. You'll have to wait, my boy. A nice cup o' tea, use of nice, o for of. Look at the nice scenery. I say, look at these flies. I say, here has practically no meaning. It is just an exclamation that is used to draw attention to something, to express surprise, or just to open a conversation. You will notice, too, that the sentences are shorter than those used in other parts of the book. Pronunciation drill. Lean, liquid, socks, sort, duck, burst. Bean, syringe, watch, raw, drunk, worth. Breathe, wander, sore, stomach, earnest. Leaf, wound, horror, sauce, tongue, circus. Preach, fruiterer, bronze, salt, thorough, absurd. Meanwhile, goose, cough, quart, onion, surgery. Put, gain, stone, loud, joint, pair. Full, famous, hosier, pouch, poison, dairy. Look, ache, loaf, bow, annoy, care. Good, flavor, boat, powder, avoid, wear. Could, bracelet, grocer, ounce, point, hair. Woman, weigh, brooch, pound, loyal, there. Exercises. Exercise 1. Use the following words in sentences. Field, sunburnt, scenery. Neck, cellar, factory. Wild, damp, strap. Worry, knees, basket. Exercise 2. Put in the missing prepositions. 1. I could certainly do a cup of tea. 2. There's a field, the left, but there are cows, the field. 3. I expect there are a few bulls, those cows. 4. The cow, the gate has an unfriendly look, its face. 5. There are plenty of good places, this road. 6. I can't have the sun beating down, me, we must look, a shady place. 7. We are looking, somewhere, no cows, no sun, and no trees. 8. We are coming, the end, the wood. 9. You can tell it is damp, the greenness, the grass. 10. Look, all these flies coming, us. Exercise 3. Put in question phrases. 1. It's 12:30. 2. You could do with a cup of tea. 3. That field will be all right. 4. You've had a cup of tea. 5. You haven't had dinner yet. 6. You didn't see that bull. 7. There's no shade at all here. 8. We are looking for a place for lunch. 9. Timothy will have to wait. 10. The basket is in the back of the car. 11. James can unstrap the basket. 12. James didn't unstrap the basket. 13. Those flies don't bite. 14. Those flies won't bite. 15. The flies didn't bite. 16. You haven't forgotten the basket, James? Exercise 4. Explain the words or phrases in italics. 1. Well, I'll keep your eyes open. 2. I could do with a cup of tea. 3. This field will do nicely. 4. Drive on until we are clear of the trees. 5. Unstrap the basket. 6. The very place we've been looking for. 7. The sun beating down on me. 8. A nice stretch of grass. Exercise 5. Tell or write the story of A. The picnic lunch. Examination paper number 3. 1. Turn the following from active to passive. 1. Susan closes the window. 2. Lucille drives the car. 3. We are eating cake. 4. The postman will bring the letters. 5. The guard waves the flag. 6. Somebody made this plate in 1760. 7. You must use a dictionary. 8. That dog will bite the postman. 9. Shakespeare wrote many plays. 10. Do you understand the questions? 2. 1. Write out the past continuous tense, affirmative, interrogative, and negative, of to write. 2. Write out the future perfect tense, affirmative, interrogative, and negative, of to drive. 3. Write out the past perfect tense, affirmative, interrogative, and negative, of to teach. 3. Rewrite the following, making all nouns and pronouns masculine where possible, and putting all the verbs in the past tense. A small girl lives with her mother and her aunt. Every day she goes along the road to play with the daughter of the doctor. The two girls play many games. Sometimes they are great actresses, sometimes famous heroines or great ladies. At other times they cross the fields to the farm and watch the ducks and hens and cows eating their food. 4. Answer the following questions. How many, 1, pennies in a shilling? 2, shillings in 1 pound? 3, ounces in a pound? 4, hundredweights in a ton? 5, inches in a foot? 6, feet in a yard? 7, yards in a mile? 8, pints in a quart? 9, what is usually bought by the ton? 10, what is the weight in stones and pounds of someone who weighs 148 pounds? 5. Fill in the blanks with the correct word from this list. Enjoyed, black, fit, whole, caught, cat, mind, lots, a, home, once, all, company, doubt, fail. Upon a time there was, dog called Jock. He was, in color, and there is no, that he was a handsome dog. He kept, by taking, of exercise, and sometimes he was out for the day trying to catch a rabbit. He never won, but he didn't, because there was always a good meal waiting at it. Jock liked the other animals who lived near, but every day without, he visited his best friend, Sally, Mr. Priestley's. He was very glad of Sally's, and Sally, his visits too. 6. Name one thing you can buy at 1. A dairy. 2. A grocer's. 3. A newsagent's. 4. A stationer's. 5. A station booking office. Where would you go to buy? 6. A bottle of medicine. 7. A packet of cigarettes. 8. A loaf of bread. 9. A ring. 10. A cabbage. 7. Put in question phrases. 1. You won't drop it. 2. There are no bowls here. 3. It's time for dinner. 4. You can do this. 5. The flies didn't bite. 6. Hob has done his work. 7. Jock didn't visit Sally. 8. Grandpa was a grocer. 9. We are working hard. 10. This is nearly the end. 8. Put the following sentences into the present tense. 1. Jan often looked at Frida. 2. Mr. Wiggins bought a new car. 3. He wrote a letter, but forgot to put the stamp on. 4. The grocer weighed the butter, and I watched him. 5. The teacher came in and saw that the boys were working hard. Put the following sentences into the future tense. 6. He went to London in April. 7. Mr. Wiggins carries the picnic basket. 8. Lucille drove the car. 9. The cat tried to catch a mouse. 10. The mouse ran away. 9. Put the following words and phrases into sentences of your own. Proud, pardon, recognize, bunch, market. Abroad, all the time, looking forward, nothing in between. Fault, landlady, beside, job, strict. Much better, all over the place, scenery. For a change, pain, patient, noun. 10. Write down what part of speech the word in italics is. 1. We went for a ride. 2. I can ride a horse. 3. That car costs 400 pounds. 4. I talk too much. 5. Hob gave an interesting talk. 6. Susan burned the toast. 7. The driver had a bad burn on his arm. 8. I had many presents for my birthday. 9. The present year is 2020. 10. Hob likes to wear a paper hat. 11. I am writing on paper. 12. These are good paint brushes. 13. He painted very well. 14. Jock will jump through the window. 15. This is a through train to Brighton. 11. Rewrite the sentences of exercise 10 in the negative. 1. We went for a ride. 2. I can ride a horse. 3. That car costs £400. 4. I talk too much. 5. Hob gave an interesting talk. 6. Susan burned the toast. 7. The driver had a bad burn on his arm. 8. I had many presents for my birthday. 9. The present year is 2020. 10. Hob likes to wear a paper hat. 11. I am writing on paper. 12. These are good paint brushes. 13. He painted very well. 14. Jock will jump through the window. 15. This is a through train to Brighton. 12. Look at these pictures and then answer the following questions. A black eye or two. 1. What people do you see in picture number 1? 2. What relation do you think the man is to the boy? 3. Who has got a black eye? How do you think he got it? 4. What do you think he is saying to his father? 5. Why is he pointing with his finger? 6. Do you think it was a small boy or a big boy who had given him the black eye? Picture number 3 may help you to give the answer. 7. In picture number 2, the father looks angry. Where do you think he is going? What for? 8. He's come back now. What is he doing? 9. Who has a black eye now? 10. What do you think has happened? Now tell, or write, the story of a black eye or two.
Dear friends, thank you very much for your support, for watching and for liking. I wish you success in learning English. Subscribe to our channel, and good luck.
Happy New Year, my friends!